I was a custodian, sweeping the floors and cleaning the restroom, putting paper out, make sure there's paper and everything inside the restroom.
Your name?
Lamatine, Mitchell.
Everyone has a story. Everyone has a legacy they're leaving behind. Lamatine Mitchell, a 92-year-old woman who resides in the Tampa, Florida area, is a living, breathing history. She was the creator of 3 inventions that are well known to consumers with no knowledge of the creator.
She created 3. The first one being the long handle putty knife, and the service cart, custodial service cart, because that was one of those things that the equipment would fall over in the container that they would carry it in. So she designed this cart that each one had a compartment to put the bottles, the cloths, what have you, the mops, brooms, what have you, and it was easy to push around. The third one was another gadget with a long handle that would scrape up gum from the floor. Students would drop gum. The custodians did not want to pick them up, reach over and touch it, so she designed this another gadget, kind of a bit of a blade, that she would just attach to a long handle and just scrape up the gum. So it was those 3.
Before Lamatine traveled to Tampa, she lived in Americus, Georgia. But soon, her older sister realized the opportunities there were vague.
Some of the white people houses taking care of the children. And it wasn't making enough money. So my sister Idabelle brought me down here so I could have better place to live and better, just get along better, because I would make more money, because not very much made up in Georgia.
After moving from Georgia to Tampa, Lamatine hit the ground running. She became well known around the city and the state for her inventions.
It became well known with her being an employee of the custodial staff. It was something that each custodian could use to help make their jobs easier. And the biggest problem was the walking around, bending and stooping, picking up paper off the ground. And that was a back-breaking experience. So she felt, why don't I just go ahead and design something that would pick up the paper without me having to bend? And the supervisor thought it was a good idea, and they implemented it around the University of South Florida. Once an idea is accepted, they feel that they might be able to use it at some other universities, and it became, during that time, during the 70s, several other universities took part of that, or took advantage of that invention. The outcome was that because the idea was so well received at the university, my mother was able to take a trip to Tallahassee. They flew her to Tallahassee after they gave her the award. Well, actually, the award was received in Tallahassee. She flew up to met a Republican governor, Claude Kirk, in '69, I believe it was. And she sat in on the cabinet. She had lunch with the governor, and they presented her with the cash award, and she flew back to Tampa.
You know, when I really don't remember everything, but I like going to Tallahassee to meet the governor and Claude Kirk. Was something about Claude Kirk, he would just set people off, not make them upset or anything, but he would say things and make you, laugh.
And a few years later, I believe it may have been about maybe 3 or 4 years later, this is when the custodial cart came about, her invention. And she flew to Tallahassee, and they would say, oh, you're going out of town again. So she flew up to Tallahassee, met the Democratic governor at the time. His name was Reuben Askew, and received a different award, and picture taking, lunch, sat in on the cabinet and had lunch and flew back. It was a day's activity of flying there and coming back. Very proud of my mother. There's an article that was written about how She was always very smart. She's very smart, and wanted to always make have a better life, as she says, when she came from Americas. I'm just proud. I'm very proud of what her inventions and how she was able to do things to better herself. I wish that had been more recognition as far as financially recognizing her talent and her inventions. And I'm not sure if she's noticed at the university, if there's a note somewhere at the university, if that's been in the books, but that's pretty much all that I can say.
Tell me, does your love change depending on who calls you? Tell me, are we all the same? Or is there one true? Are you listening? Are you there? We keep falling, do you care? Is it